Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora White, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikto Rabentau, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira, Celestau Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Woobs the Wolf, Severa, Circa Barakil, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Late in the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Framboise Sakuro, Bergie, Fudge, Sephiel, Cafe, Gregorium Cartus, and Eros. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you. Good evening, Aorsians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 438. I'm Lukiel Brayston, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vanadar, and Rolodes. Hello. Welcome. It is February the 1st. We have finally left January. And what a month that we have ahead of us, actually, in terms of content.
I thought you were just saying, like, what a month in general. I was about to say, don't get any planes.
Well,
guys.
yeah, January was a lot as well.
That's true. I'd stay grounded just for now.
Yeah. Maybe trains.
Yeah.
Trains for now.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about 14, believe it or not. We're going to talk about Final Fantasy XIV. We're going to talk about side content specifically today, which is a great discussion. We'll also be talking about the upcoming Valentione's event as well. We'll also be reading MogMail, speakersv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post-show. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. And yes, we will continue Near Far. No. It's called Near Far Wherever You Are, I think.
Near Far Wherever You Are.
Before we get into that, we have the live letter coming up on Friday. It's at noon Central European time. Well, I think I put it in the slide, actually. Noon Central European time, 11 a.m. GMT, and 10 p.m. Australia Eastern time.
That is
Not a single American time. Unbelievable.
No, I
right.
was thinking that was
I just pulled this from the EU website. That's 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Eastern.
For East Coast, 3 a.m. West Coast.
Yes.
You're only 25% of this Rollo.
Yeah.
We're all equal parts, but you don't get anything, all right?
I sometimes forget because I just see the Lodestone post and think that is the Lodestone.
I wish they put all.
You're
They
right.
should
They
put
put
them
all
all.
of the times on the. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So make sure to catch that. It's a big event, of course, because we get our first taste on the from what we're going. What?
Oh,
we're gonna get the first
sweet
taste of what's to come
breadcrumbs.
in 6.2. 6. I wish 7.2.
Pray for
I
long-term
don't wish.
content.
Yes.
If it was 6.2, we'd be in
Please.
for a bad time, I think.
So that's cool. That's coming up. Something else happens on Friday, which we'll touch on in a bit, but I also mentioned this really quick. Got a bit cut off by the
Hello.
frame there. Hello.
Whoa.
On the 15th, we'll be covering MLD Grand Prix, which is the Norwegian national selections for Eurovision, which we've talked about before.
It's so niche.
It's
Look,
very
This
niche.
is-
Let us live our lives.
It's a weird Patreon tradition, so you can watch. We don't know the time.
We don't even do like the UK one. Or the Australian
Well, they don't
one.
have one.
UK
Because
doesn't
they
have
don't
one.
exist.
They don't?
We don't have
No.
national selections.
Australia
They-
used to, or has it?
They
had
in
it,
the past,
yeah.
but we don't do that.
Yeah.
I think we said that if they brought it back, we would try. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not really a convenient time. But
No. We'll see. Well, if there is none this year, I think.
there is none this
no.
year, so we don't have to think about it right now.
No. This is the difference for those that watched it last year is that they've changed it so that there's only one show. There's only one show, so it's on Saturday, which means that the podcast that's supposed to happen on the 15th gets moved to the 16th, so Sunday. That's important to know.
We will remind you again next week.
Yes, we will. So this is because this is only one final. It's open for Senior, Master, and Supreme. So I should have said Supreme, Master, and Senior speakers. So join in if you can. All right. Speaking of what else is going to happen on the next Friday,
Well,
Friday the
back in time
7th.
again.
We're going back again. Sorry, I just realized as I was reading the notes. Civ 7.
Wow.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up on the show is because
We're betting on this.
we are
in Fantasy
going
Sport Leagues.
we are going to be playing it on Saturday. Well, we start on Friday, the 7th, but the post show will not happen on the 8th. Just realized that. I don't know if we've told Rollo that. I was supposed to say that today, but I was shitting.
No, I read it.
Okay. We Rollo, there's no post show on the 8th.
Yeah.
we're going the post show, or rather, the post show is Civ 7. So there you go. We're going to be playing Civ 7 on the post show.
Do an extended one for that day. It's like extended push.
It will be.
We'll see however long we want to play.
2 hours minimum. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that is a sponsored stream. Okay, let's just make that clear.
Hashtag ad.
Yeah, hashtag ad.
We made it.
Ad.
Yeah.
Do you have to tell them that beforehand?
Yes, we have to tell that. So that has to be very
Before
clear.
we start the stream.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for channel updates. Let's jump into recent events. Yep, and we start off with something interesting. Final Fantasy XIV has a collaboration with BlackMilk, which is.
You ever heard of that brand before?
I hadn't until this appeared.
No.
Didn't you do some research into what they are, Mela?
They seem to be. They are a women's focus. Luxury, like quite high end clothing company.
Okay.
They're Australian as well. I think.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that I thought was interesting because I've never heard of them.
It's got a bit of that e-girl fashion flavor.
Yeah.
Too, you know.
Yeah. There is an official post about this, so I'll read the little blurb that is here. We are excited to announce a brand new collaboration between Final Fantasy XIV and BlackMilk Clothing, the fashion brand renowned for its unique licensed prints. Glamour yourself into a range of signature styles featuring instantly recognizable motifs from the world of Final Fantasy XIV. The collection features 12 printed and designer pieces drawing on the world of Final Fantasy XIV and its beloved jobs, locations, and minions. Amongst the collection's hero pieces are a unique maxi dress featuring job icons, a unisex oversized mother crystal tee, a head-turning velvet dress with a map of Heidelin, and a cute cactuar knit set. Your fashion journey doesn't end in Eorzea. This collaboration will started on will start on Monday, the 3rd of February, 9 p.m. GMT, so whatever that is everywhere else. So 10 p.m. Central, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm looking at this dress, and it feels like an auto-generated AI Temu dress that has like a print that's just wrapped around.
Yeah.
The entire thing, you know.
I
thought the dress looks nice, but I understand that it's a lot.
The medieval goth lady one.
The goth girl one is the best.
I have not put in here because I couldn't fit it in. This one.
That
is
so
strange.
That looks really
but
good.
It is cool. It has all the job icons in the pattern.
In the lace.
There's also a beautiful asymmetric trench coat.
It's the best
really
one.
Good on their site.
Yeah.
These aren't the only ones that they've listed on their site. There are a bunch of extra ones. So do.
Yeah. Oh, you cut off your tiny legs.
I did. Oh, it's the frame is cutting it off. But yeah, the man with the Heidelin shirt. The photo is a little odd. It's like the perspective is off, so he gets tiny legs.
All right, okay. I got to be a hater for a moment too.
Okay.
So this is my hater moment. You can rip up the Square Enix check this week. So
okay. Yeah.
That's just
no.
Right.
God, video game fashion collabs fucking suck. they are always so bad. It is just graphic tees and prints You know, the only thing interesting here, I'll say, is the dress because it like
The
it's
overcoat
something
has
that's
it too.
It-
On the inside, it has the job crystal
the
print.
trench coat's
The-
really nice.
Yeah, the trench coat
Yeah.
isn't on the post, but yeah, it is on the
If you
website.
want to see it, chat.
I don't know what it is
It's
about video games
very-
though, where it's like, okay, we're gonna do the collab. We're just gonna print some art or like some icons.
I
or
think
whatever.
I think the cactuar one looks nice as well because that's a knit. That's
The
not a print.
Cactuar's-
It's
a
better,
unique design though. Like it's made for the collab. I mean, I agree with you to some degree.
but yeah.
It's often just a graphics t-shirt.
I agree with you to some degree, but I think I quite like most of these.
I mean, it's I don't know. They're
I
not my
think-
thing. I think they're kind of cheap, especially because they're like under
Well,
$100
you
for
say
stuff.
cheap, yeah, because they're cheap in price. They are not, but
I'd say
But
cheap.
some of
in
them are reasonable.
quality.
Some,
Well, yeah, I think for the price that you're paying for these, it's around the same
Oh,
price
yeah.
you'd pay for a similar item that's not branded.
well,
So
this is in
Yeah.
Australian
I actually-
dollars, so I don't know what the prices actually mean.
Oh,
but
it's not American dollars. on the
no,
website?
they're
Well,
Australian.
I mean, well, it would default to the Australian if you're not American.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
would
so-
probably have it in American if you went there. It defaulted to pounds for mailer, so
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is about what I expect. Like the top is the knit top.
The most expensive thing, like the thing I feel is overpriced are the giant T-shirt.
I
Like
agree.
50
I think the
pounds,
t-shirts
it's a
are
lot
the.
for a T-shirt.
I
I-
wouldn't pay the price for the t-shirts, but I think the other
The
ones
rest
are
of
quite
it's
nice.
fairly, yeah.
I think we should be more inspired with our video game clothing collabs. There is one piece of video game clothing which I think is like actually dope and like cool as a piece of fashion and merch is the Death Stranding jacket, which is like $2,000. But
Oh.
it is
No one's got
no, but like it's not just like bad designer shit. It's like Sam's jacket, which is sort of like tech wear-ish, but it looks good. It's like fashion from the game, but made in real life in a way that like you could wear it. You know what I mean? Which I think you could definitely do with like stuff in 14 if you were an inspired designer and you didn't just like, you know, put the map.
Well,
on the dress.
I mean, in 14 you can literally just get a fucking just plain T-shirt. So I mean,
But there's some iconic stuff though in 14 you can grab from and like.
but you
know,
can't
like
go
the-
out with like
like
a hempen vest. Like you can't go out with
No,
a.
but that's what I'm saying with like the Death Stranding ones. Like you can't. Sam's jacket is not something you can really wear feasibly,
No.
but they.
Well,
they
then why
made
would I
a
want it? The idea is that like you want to be able to wear something that you can wear anywhere. Otherwise, it's
No,
essentially
no,
like
It's not
expensive
cosplay.
cosplay.
What I'm saying is that like they took the design from that jacket
Oh.
and made it wearable, right? And it, like,
Oh,
a
so the
normal-
IRL one is wearable.
yeah, but it's still very much heavily inspired by like something in game.
I see.
I
like
mean
a
that's
cool
true.
way.
These aren't inspired by in-game outfits. They're just
Like, it's just
thematic.
prints and like designs. It's
They're
all right.
quite
It's all
nice.
right. I
Yeah.
just
I-
That's the word.
We can
I
do
don't like
better.
how you keep saying it's just prints because I think some of them are more than that. I think
I-
you're minimizing some of these
Oh.
designs.
Oh, now that I know that it's Australian dollars, this is I retract my statement that it was expensive because I mean it's
No,
Yeah, they're reasonable.
59
These are like
Australian
Uniqlo-
dollars is 36 US. So I mean
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's quite affordable.
Yeah, I think they're quite affordable. I understand that some of them are more situational than others, like
Yeah.
specifically the world map dress. And it's on the website. There's also one based on Ilmeg.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
that
it
one's
says
quite
it's
vibrant. That's a lot.
the Ilmeg one is 119, and I thought that was US dollars, but in US dollars that's $74. So
No, it's definitely like cheaper-ish, affordable fashion. It's not fast fashion. I won't say that, but
right.
it's everything's sub 100. So
I
you
will
get
say
what
this
you-
is one of the more.
Well, the trench coat's not sub 100.
No,
yeah, for the most
that's
part.
true. Well, yeah, I kind of like the knit stuff is pretty cool. The Cactuar one. I mean,
Yeah, I think I like the knit one a lot.
You don't
yeah,
have to get the full knit outfit. You can just get the top and then.
Oh, you
wear
can
Yeah.
definitely do some
something
stuff.
like this.
There's
Yeah,
some
they're
cute stuff,
cute.
but
They're
you know
just-
we could
yeah.
we could do better.
we can always do better. That's true.
You know,
I mean,
we should shoot for the stars.
what I
and do
don't
more
like
movements.
is that when you try to make like this chocobo shirt the chocobo like hatchling shirt is pretty cute, but then I think Mela agrees with me here. The back,
Yes.
yeah,
yeah. I don't like that.
terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah,
When
That
you got the
detracts all of it from
logo,
it.
just
yeah. I'm not a fan of that.
That's the
Everyone
shit.
knows that a the more high quality the brand is, the less you'll know that it's that brand
Mhm.
on the products themselves. You don't see the
Got-
best of the best just writing
It's
the
only
fucking name.
it's interesting that it's only the T-shirt that has that, because I don't think the dresses or the knit stuff
don't
has
think so.
that.
No.
Do they?
It's tacky.
God,
to have that on the
imagine
back.
if this goth dress, like this
Oh,
medieval
I
goth
would-
dress, and you turn
I'd be
around and it's like
ruined.
Final Fantasy XIV is a registered trademark of Square Enix, like collaboration
wouldn't
with
like that.
BlackMilk. It does
Is
not.
this,
Don't worry, it does not
oh,
have
it's-
it on the back. So.
Oh, it's totally sheer. Okay, you gotta
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
something
yeah.
beneath
This
that.
one,
Yeah, you
this
gotta
one's
wear
pretty
something.
cool.
Yeah.
You gotta be naked.
Yeah,
But it's sheer because the design lends itself there because you can see the job.
yeah. You
If
can.
it wasn't sheer, it'd be very hard to see the job icon design in the
Yeah,
lace.
you can see
Yeah.
it in. You can see the job crystals here in this shot.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very strange,
Try-
but
Try harder next time a little bit. Maybe you can make something out of your Solace
I
outfit.
think
with, like,
Rollo
the
has
fur
really
lining.
high standards for what.
No,
is...
I just think the standards are
No,
so low
don't
for video game collabs.
Don't say no.
For video game collabs with fashion, I think in general the standards are just so fucking low.
But what kind of
I-
fashion brand is BlackMilk with these prices? They can't be like a very high end.
No, I don't think they are that high. End,
Well,
actually.
I mean, if
I
we're
think-
I
talking
mean,
about clothing
$36.
prices,
yeah,
I mean,
they're just a.
that's an
just a-
entire different conversation of like clothing production and why prices are like that. But that's another thing.
yeah.
Tune in next week for Rollo's anti-capitalist rants.
It continues. All right. So, anyways, you can get that. That's available on the store, on their store, BlackMilk store, I think, now. So go to the Lodestone for the
Yeah.
link. Well,
If
no,
you get it, I legally have to make fun of you. Or
you
something. I
have
don't
to
know. It's 'cause I'm a hater.
pre-order, I think.
Well, it's not out yet.
Yeah, so it's not out. It's out on Monday.
an
But
eye
if you're
on it,
watching this on
guys.
YouTube, it is out.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing for men, by the way, right? It's just all
One
No,
unit.
there's,
t-shirt.
there's the
women's
t-shirt, I
brand.
guess.
The t-shirts are unisex, and so's the hoodie, the Leylines
Yeah.
hoodie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the
It's-
Leylines.
Oh
it's,
my god,
it's
the
not a
Ilmeg
men's
one.
clothing
That's
brand.
like a
Yeah.
moo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
well,
the Homer moo.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I think the silhouette of the Ilmeg dress is quite unflattering
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
model, unfortunately.
Because it's a moo.
Yeah.
It does
Okay.
remind me of that Simpsons episode.
Moving on. Crystalline Conflict Community Cup.
Way.
Looks like Lakila's turned on the wrong header for this
Whoa, look at
this
that.
slide because that's a season 13. But
Oh, yes, it
yeah,
does.
this is the 5v5 online tournament for Europe. Prove yourself the
We'll be
fiercest.
there.
Prove yourself the fiercest fighter in the newest edition of the Crystalline Conflict Community Cup Europe online PvP tournament. If you're on Chaos or Light, team up with your friends and register for the tournament for a chance to win amazing prizes.
I am on Chaos or Light.
Well, there you go.
So
Then
am I,
you're
but
eligible.
How to train?
The
We
crystal.
don't
How do
train.
we-
We go in us four and then one random.
Us
'Cause
four.
you have to have 5 people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
To do the
For the Gubu Gobblers, we have to get our
Yeah,
name
but-
out there.
Does the PvP? But how do the PvP team is not tied to this mailer?
No,
Oh.
no.
Do something with the PvP team.
Can you even create a team, or is it just like
You can still
We-
create PvP
You can still
teams,
create new teams.
still
Yeah,
create
don't
them,
you worry,
okay.
Rollo.
but they're completely
Okay.
useless. So
what a vestigial feature? Just
Yeah.
like the circles or rings.
Yeah, it will even tell you when your PvP team members log in.
fellowships. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
fellowships.
thinking of web rings. I'm just an old
No,
man.
circles
Oh,
is what they
Google
call in Japan, I'm
Plus.
pretty
Google
sure.
Plus had the circles. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was-
putting you in my outer circle so you can't see my close post.
Oh,
God. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Crystalline Conflict Community Cup Europe. Oh God. These are, I'm assuming, very prominent 14 streamers.
for the one at FanFest. I'm pretty sure they were there for that.
Okay.
From my memory of it.
Lithi
Mm.
and Rukuri
Mhm.
will be our commentators for this tournament. The final stages of the tournament will be broadcast live on the official Final Fantasy XIV Twitch channel. Co-streaming is allowed.
Come on, we're doing it! Yeah.
We'll be shoutcasting over
We're
the
gonna shoutcast
shoutcasters.
this guy.
Over the
We'll
that's
shoutcast better
sounds
than them
great.
because we can be louder than them.
They should do like they do in Eurovision. They should provide like one stream that has no commentary, so
That would
we
be
can provide
legit.
our own.
Mm.
That would
Get
be
on
nice,
that.
but
Square Enix
They're
is an indie
quite a
company.
small.
You're
Yeah,
asking
they're a
too
small
much.
company.
It's also probably a very small audience that would want that.
Yes. It's just going to be streamers that are co-streaming that are going to use that stream.
Yeah.
Okay, so this starts on Friday the 30th. Oh, it started already.
Registration.
Oh,
Begins.
registration. I see. Yeah. Started on the 31st of January and lasts until the 7th of February, until
Okay,
4
so we
p.m.
can do
GMT. The bracket announcement is on Monday the 24th of February, and then round of 16 starts on the 3rd of March, Monday, to Thursday the 6th. And then round of 8 semifinals and finals happens on Friday the 7th of March from 4:30 p.m. GMT.
That's a Friday.
Yeah, Friday the 7th, yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
do you
that's
have
on
a
our
job?
special day.
You can't
You
have a
play Final
job.
Fantasy 14. You shouldn't have a job.
That's
No.
not our special day. Our special day is a month earlier, Mela.
No, the 7th of March is when we're doing this. That's the live letter and Civ, and then this is a sort of little
March?
No, that's
Mela.
the 7th of February.
February.
Oh, sorry, you're right. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I
It's
said
a month.
March,
Yeah.
I mean, the days, the 3rd of March to the 6th of March doesn't even have timing. So what if your bracket is at like 12 noon?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I think this is crazy that it requires you. This is midweek.
Yeah, and in the
this
middle
is-
of the day, like I guess they have to do it because it has to be on a work day for the people that work at Square Enix.
Think
yeah,
about,
I guess.
it's insane.
Yeah.
This is
I don't
for
know.
your unemployed friends. It's not for you.
Taking
Yeah, have fun,
taking like
guys.
a day off because you got to play PvP in Final
That's the
Fantasy
worst,
14. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know about that.
Taking a day off, probably fine for the expansion, but
Yeah.
we start doing it for PvP. Across the line here at Speakers.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
So to be eligible, you need to have a European Square Enix account. You must have an active character on the Chaos or Light data centers. You must be able to communicate in English.
Oh my god.
You must be able to communicate using. So there will be 0 French people during this PvP.
yes.
Ah, putain.
You must be able to communicate using Discord, voice and text chat software. A team must be formed with a minimum of 5 and maximum of 7 members to participate. 5 members may participate in a match. Teams may switch up to 2 members per match, but not per game. Yeah, per match. Once a team
I guess having
registration.
subs.
What? What did you say,
I
Roland?
guess just having like subs for your.
I guess.
thing.
Yeah.
I guess
if you,
that's what that
If you
means.
want to be one of the Google Gobbler subs, just let us know. We need up to 7.
We need some subbies.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need some
Well, we
subbies.
also can't have Rollo because he doesn't have a European account.
Oh yeah, you need to
True.
have a European account.
I'm an Americano.
Damn.
Guys, we're cutting Rollo off the podcast.
That's
We only
it.
No.
Announcing. Once a team registration is submitted, you may not add new members to the team. Once a team registration is submitted, you may not replace any team members with someone who hasn't been registered. During this tournament, you may only participate in a single team. As long as the team meets the eligibility requirements, any team can be formed. Teams can be formed across logical data centers if they meet the eligibility requirements.
I even love saying the word team.
God, there's a lot. All the rules. I'm not going to read the rules, but the rules are there
Yeah.
as well. The
It's
rewards.
a standard tournament type structure. It's
Yeah.
not super complex.
It's not that. It's not that hard.
We'll
the-
cheer you on if you're in our
We
chat,
will
our
cheer
you on.
community.
Of course. All participants will receive 3 sets of 99 Magic torches, red, blue, yellow, and 10 wrapped
What?
presents.
What are wrapped presents?
I don't
They're,
know.
well, you don't know until you open them.
And then then semi-finalist teams will receive the above, along with 1 in-game item of their choice from the following items: the Ahriman choker, Mandragora choker, Chocobo Noble Barding, Bluebird earring, Scarf of Wondrous Wit, which we know. Please never pick that. You can get
That's
it in
the
game.
shit option.
Gaily Cap, Modern Aesthetics, Strife, and Great Paraserpent. So,
They're all
The
standard
leopard-
normal rewards we've had before.
yeah. And then, obviously, out of these, the Paraserpent, that's the one you probably would
Gaily
want to
Cap
go for.
and,
The Gaily Cap as well, yeah.
Serpent, yeah.
The winning team will receive the above, along with the Loperit earring, which is new earring just dropped, guys. That's only for the winning team.
That could be you.
That could be you. It is kind of unnerving, that earring, because it's a decapitated loperette. Like, it has the, like, it's just the head and then part of the, like, the scarf as well, and then just stops. So it looks like you just popped the head of a loperette and put it on your ear.
I think they can.
You just taxidermed it like a
Yeah.
little tiny one.
God. So there you go. That's very unique, though. So that's a good, nice reward, I think.
Apparently, it was available in Japan at some point. I don't remember exactly what the loperette earring was available from, though.
But
maybe some like in-store promotion, like at Lawson's or I don't know. Something
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, in Japan it probably was, look at a sign and you will get the earring. Look at a product.
Look at a sign on this one tiny street in Akihabara, and then tip the maid $5.
No. That's a European one, Rollo. In Japan, it's just like, breathe calmly in a 7-Eleven, and you'll get
Korea.
Get all the
Korea
exclusives.
had it as a reward for FanFest cosplay. Okay.
Okay. There you go.
Well, the only thing I could find on this wrapped present is on Gamerscape.
Yeah, I did too. I did this research.
And the only person who's made a comment 2 years ago said they got a Quick-On Materia 9 out of it.
I'm going to hope that they have updated it with at least a Materia 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Imagine getting that.
Okay. Good for him.
Yeah.
It seems to be like a catch-all loot box for like sweepstake type content.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them do it before though.
No.
I don't recall seeing that. So obviously they don't give them that.
They gotta switch back to just only the golden needle every time. Though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of Golden Needle, the rewards for the screenshot sweepstakes, a golden opportunity, has been delivered. And it's a mixed bag, of course, as we knew, but there's... I guess...
There were 1,400 for Europe, 1,400 for America, 700 good on each one. I was lucky enough to get the Golden Ronka Serpent.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
So that's 25 million gil that I don't have to spend.
Yeah.
But other people were less lucky. Some people were getting... The thing about the less lucky prizes is that there's more of them, so less people get them. But there's more variety.
Yeah.
So the ones they announced on the Lodestone was the 15 golden needles and what else? There was a golden ore, I think it was.
Yeah, I think
15 gold ore as well.
Yeah.
So lucky you.
Yeah.
Some people got the golden mechanical gorilla. Some people got the golden Namazu mount. But I've seen some more interesting ones. Yeah, says the gold. Some people got gold pineapples, apples, regular apples, goldings, which is just a fish.
Yeah.
The most interesting one are people that got the gold nugget, which is an item you cannot craft anymore and is exclusive to 1.0.
Oh,
wish I had it.
You could have gotten a rare item, Mela.
Yeah.
You were lucky.
I know.
You could have gotten a rare loser prize.
But instead, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything either.
I didn't try it, so I didn't. But
30 lucky people across NA and EU will have received gold nugget.
Yeah.
It's so...
It's worth...
Is this the first time they've done, like, joke prizes in one of these?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Because before, it's always been like, okay, if you get one of the shooter, it's like one of the scarves or something. Or like one of the, like, okay.
Well, yeah,
accessories.
normally you get to choose from that list that we listed earlier as prizes for the PvP tournament.
Yeah. But the golden ore and the golden needle is so
The golden
funny.
needle's good.
It's so, like...
You're laughing now, Rollo, but the next time you're petrified...
You'll be able. You'll be thanking your lucky stars.
Yeah.
What a golden opportunity!
The next time you stare at Echidna in Void Ark.
Yeah. I've forgotten to pay attention enough to dodge that, but I've paid attention enough to remember I have the golden needle.
Exactly. Because
to realize I don't have the golden needle.
You've got it on a 400% sized hotbar directly in the center of your screen, so you can always know you've got your golden needle.
We're talking about this mainly because I want to ask our viewers, please let me know the full list of dummy prizes. If you know someone that won a dummy prize, or have received a dummy prize. I just want to know the full list of garbage that they're sending out via
Mhm.
GM message.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever opened the letter. I think I just keep it in there forever as like a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
just
fried.
don't remove.
Otherwise,
the
it would just get
item.
lost.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, GM messages have their own section. I've
They
only
do.
received 5 GM messages in
Oh.
my game's lifetime. They're separate from like Mog Station.
4 of them is when he was like put into Mordian jail.
Yeah. Yeah, he was saying slurs. in
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
That's crazy.
What's
No, well, the annoying thing was that the gold prize and the 99 fucking skyrockets were 2 separate GM messages that arrived like a day apart.
Cringe.
Yeah. What's funny about?
I hope they
yeah,
keep
go on.
doing joke prizes. I like it.
Yeah,
agree.
I think it's funny.
It's more interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if you've entered enough contests where you kind of already got everything that you
Yeah.
really want.
Yeah.
They should do it every year for the Golden Week, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What's that? You know, the Gold Sorcerer event.
Make it rain.
Oh, the
Make it rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
It's funny to see the gold nugget make its return because the gold nugget appeared by mistake. I don't know if you remember this when they added the Moogle clock. Do you remember this? And the recipe
In 1.0 or 2.0?
no, in
No,
2.0, and
no,
the recipe
this was-
called for gold nugget, I think.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and no one could craft it because the gold
Vaguely
nugget was a
sounds
1.0 item.
Because it was supposed, they were supposed to put gold ingots, but
Yeah.
they put gold nuggets by accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it's still programmed into the game. Because obviously people could still, and apparently they're giving them out for some reason.
Yes.
So you can
So,
finally craft those clocks.
well, it's been fixed, but you know, that was a
All
good.
these years later.
I've already received the one message telling me that someone received a gold Roselle cape line, which is a straw hat with a gold
That's pretty
nice in
good.
it.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Something.
There you go.
interesting.
That's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, just anything with gold in it is what you can receive, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know. I just love how random it is. I want to know, like, did they just control F gold?
Yeah,
I think
and
they
then see
did.
what can we give out?
I think they did.
But how many of each? We need to itemize the 700.
I would-
No,
European
God.
ones.
Let's
My
make a
suspicion
spreadsheet.
is
Yeah, please.
My suspicion is based on the initial lodestone post. It's 15 of each dummy
15 of
prize.
each.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But there's only one way of finding out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Get the
Okay.
work done.
I
Anyway.
think it would be impossible to track down all 1,400 winners of this contest mailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I
what
think
is it?
that's
We're just
also
hunting them down like animals.
Yeah.
for what? Why all this
Just
work for what?
For knowledge.
Or
I
balls.
mean,
I don't know.
I appreciate a search for knowledge
Mm.
mailer.
Mm.
But I'm happy just to know what people are winning. I don't
Yeah.
need to know the number of each prize that is being given out
No.
beyond what they listed on the lodestone.
No. Okay, well anyways, congratulations to those that won something.
A real prize
A real
or
prize.
the gold nugget.
Oh, the gold nugget. It is worth quite a bit, and I would assume
Is
now
it worth anything?
I don't know, but I think value will now
trading?
go up because we know that it's
I
in the
think it's-
economy now. So people will be like,
It's like
the
it's like
mailers. will-
art in
Yeah.
the sense that
Really?
its value is only prescribed by the community.
Yes, yes. 1.0 items are a hot commodity usually, which is why
That's true.
It has a sell value of 1 with
Vendors?
Well, that's if
on
you send-
vendors.
yeah.
It's
So,
currently
that's where we
500
start.
million on Moogle.
Well, 500 million is waiting for you on Moogle.
That's fair.
So there you go.
I think, at least.
You monetarily, you have probably won. That's probably the best thing to win. in
However,
this.
historical data suggests it was once sold for 2,000 gold on Moogle 11 years ago. So
that's the
Times have
me
changed.
of that server because that's what I remember. The Calamity Salvager day fucking 1. I open him.
You didn't even put them on the market board. You probably gave them to vendors.
yeah, you idiot.
No, I
What are you
discarded.
thinking, Gil?
Like
Oh my
Even
God,
worse!
It's the worst thing you can
Well,
do.
I open. I was like, it's just cracked materia. Like I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this?
Oh.
And so,
Oh, guys, hold on.
well,
It's on sale right now. Brynhilder, 50 million.
50.
That's
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 a-
10% of the value of the
That's
Moogle
a-
one.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bargain.
That's a
compared to what it could
steal.
be.
Oh, guys, I'm logging in.
This is Brynhilde. You can't even.
The
Reach that,
last
can you?
the
I'll bring it.
um oh my god, like the last 3 sales are like from 8 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, just,
Oh my God.
just chat saying, I have 50 million.
Aw.
I will get the nugget.
Listen, go to Brynhilder, buy from.
Don't say
Don't
that.
fucking-
Jesus
Dox them.
Christ.
That's the name of the retainer, not them.
Okay. Do I have to? Do I have to
Bleep that out.
censor this
That's the
episode?
retainer name. It's the same as fucking saying a player name of the goddamn Bloodstone.
Okay. All right. I'll note it down just in case. Just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along to Valentione's Day, which is starting on February 3rd, 8 a.m. Lasts until
Around the same time as the clothing collaboration.
yes.
That's true.
Yes. Valentione's Day is upon us once more, and cities and residential areas the realm over will be adorned with romantic decorations. This year, the emissaries of ardor and affection have arranged for bouquets of roses to be handed out to help everyone convey their feelings, but it appears it isn't all roses for one and all.
I hope someone gives me some roses. Can't wait.
So again, Astrid has need of an adventurer
Kirby?
to resolve a quandary in love. So,
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The rewards
Astrid.
are.
the rewards are as follows. Emote, bouquet, and
Please God.
the heartfelt Valentione's Day advertisement, which is last year's art.
Finally,
That
a
seems
keeping
to be
up
a
appearances
recurring-
emote.
Yeah.
No one. Well, no, I'm not going to say no one, but you're a very niche reference.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. That's
I am less impressed with the rewards compared to Heaven's Turn. I quite like the Heaven's Turn rewards. I know we weren't that high on the event, but like,
No
I
reward.
don't know, it's nice.
Fine,
It's
yeah.
nice when there's more than 2.
yeah.
The emote is the emote also a special persistent emote?
It
or is
better
it
be
an
persistent.
animation.
I need to be able to fucking kneel in front of all the hot girls in Limso, right?
Yeah.
I need
It's-
AFK.
It's very embarrassing if you keep standing up after each time.
Yeah.
I'll put in the work. I'll spam.
I mean,
that key.
the idea is
Set
you're
up a
supposed to
macro.
wait until they receive your bouquet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your bucket. Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
bucket.
your bucket. Your
Uh,
hyacinth bucket.
Love it.
Love references that very few will understand. Okay.
I
do.
make-
It's a British
I
TV
know
show,
that because you
Laura.
understand them.
Yeah.
That's why you love them.
Yeah.
You also like exclusivity.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Yes.
We're a club.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Just saying that we're going to ban everyone that's using this emote on Roderick.
Yeah,
outside
that's
the
fair.
house. So.
No. He deserved. Do it. Do it for me.
That's fair. If you're gonna ban everyone for Roger, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
so
always toast.
we'll give.
Toast isn't
He's
outside.
not. Well, there's Dunstan, but
Oh, done.
you want to date
No
a
one
you want to
likes-
date
no
a
one
bunch
likes
of bones. No one likes
So
Dunstan.
true, Yogi.
No one likes Dunstan.
So true.
I mean,
You didn't
Yeah.
even pick a nice faceplate for Dunstan.
he wasn't meant to be hot. You know, he's just supposed to
No,
be a dude.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying.
Well, he definitely
that's
isn't.
Why that's why that's why no one likes Dunstan. That's
I
my
guess
point.
so. I guess
Aw.
so. Okay. Well, that is Valentione's Day. We're gonna obviously review it next week. So tune
Yeah,
in
the
for that.
day.
We'll see
no,
how
on
it
the
goes.
16th.
So hopefully it's
Yeah,
a very
but-
thirsty
Oh no,
event.
it is.
Yeah.
It would have been Valentine's Day by then. We don't even actually had Valentine's Day.
No.
No, that's true.
Ridiculous.
Okay, well, that's that for that. That's that for that. Let's jump
That's a
into
good English sentence.
let's
That's
jump
that for that.
let's jump into MogMail. This is from Kamadani from Durandal. Hey, speakers. Oi, I have 2 unrelated thoughts. I wanted to hear your opinions on. 1. Respecting our time. Lately, I've been trying to keep up a stock of Aetheryte tickets to save on teleport costs, so I've been doing the A Realm Reborn daily hunts. In the process of going back to the A Realm Reborn zones and doing old content, it has really struck me how much more MMO-ish this game used to be, and how much of those things have been pruned away from the game. The thought occurred to me that Final Fantasy XIV in some ways was more engaging when they weren't so focused on respecting our time. An example of what I am talking about is waiting for fates to appear. We did this all the time in A Realm Reborn, whether it be for hunts, books, I love books, bring them back, or anything else.
Yes!
It has had me cross paths with other players trying to do stuff. With nothing else to do while waiting, I've been helping them and having actual interactions in an MMO. Or while waiting for a fate, I've come across things in the A Realm Reborn zones that I either didn't notice before or forgot about. NPCs and monsters sometimes have interesting interactions. It's been a really nostalgic experience that I didn't realize how much I missed. 2. On class/job-locked glamour. One Yoshi P quote that stuck with me was when he, while talking about glamour, said something like, "Well, we can't unlock all the gear. A black mage," we quote this so much, by the way, "a black mage wearing plate armor would look so strange." This would imply there is some kind of aesthetic, or as the kids now would say, vibe, the game is going for. But is it really true? In a game where I can buy glamours from the cash shop to give my character Converse lookalikes, a baseball cap, button-down shirt with tie and blazer, and shiny parachute pants to then jump on my flying transformer motorcycle, can they still try to claim there is some kind of fantasy aesthetic we can't break? If a caster was wearing plate armor, would it really look any stranger than a tank in a bikini with a squirrel head, or a healer wearing a golden frog suit? Looking forward to hearing
Is that
your
another
thoughts.
prize in the competition?
No, you have to dye it together.
So-
It's not named.
Yeah, I know.
I think...
What if it became pre-dyed? Ooh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, thank you, Kamadani, for the 2 topics.
I think we could be friends, Kamidani.
I think we can save the answer to the first one for the great discussion because it's somewhat related.
Yeah, I was
going to
say
topic.
that's so timely.
Yeah. So let's focus on the second half of this, the class/job locked glamour. I mean, it's time, I think, to let that go. Like to let the mages wear plate armor, for God's sakes.
You can wear plate armor already.
Yeah,
You can wear the
legacy gear, like the legacy hero.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's already okay. So I don't know if you guys
PvP
were into it
rewards.
at the time, but launch like TF2, right? There was if you read some of like the design stuff, or I think it might have been from interview, or even a dev, like in-game dev commentary thing. I think it's Robin, for which person says it, but he's like, oh, in this game, we want to focus on the character's silhouette because it really matters in this game. Because you, in TF2, in the early days, you wanted to know if there was a sniper or if that was like a demo man, across the map, because it really mattered.
Yeah.
And then that changed instantly. The second they added cosmetics,
Right.
they threw that shit out the door, right?
Didn't it take them ages to add hats, though?
Yeah, it wasn't until like 2009, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They did. They
it
held
was
up
a
for a
while.
while.
Yeah.
But that while was like less than like 2 years or something like that. Now in that game, it mattered. It mattered. They still broke the rules, and it doesn't matter, and the game still played fine-ish. I don't know about the state of it now. Now, in 14, when you say like a silhouette or like a design matters, why?
Yeah.
You are not against these other players, and even then, it doesn't matter in PvP because it's too much of a mess to see anything, right? A player being a fucking Rothgar versus a Lalafell will impact you more as to what you think it is than whatever maybe weapon stance they have at like animation they have at best.
Yeah.
So like it is just such like an embarrassing and weird thing to still be hold on, because it doesn't matter in this game. It just why?
Yeah.
It is. You can make money too if you really want to. Like, I mean, they already got it in China with the gear or trader and crafter.
Yeah, they can wear that as
well.
well.
Yeah, I think that's a cash up item.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter. In fact, you'd make the players happier for it. Like you get more out of this from the players for doing it. I don't understand. It's such a weird holdout thing.
Yeah.
It's like an old man thing,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
Like
is.
it's like this because like I don't know, EverQuest was like this, right?
Yes.
What are you gonna do? Go against how EverQuest did things?
They've broke the identity enough already.
Yeah.
Like the thematics of this game has changed so much since launch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it launched, everyone was in, like you said, hempen gear, and the artifact gear looks like the jobs from the games. It was like, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And the mat, it's very grounded, very fancy.
Yeah.
And then they slowly introduced more.
Well, they started
technological
leaning
things
more into
over time.
Magitech. Yeah.
And then eventually they've pushed it so far that we now are in, like Hamidani says, just streetwear.
Yeah.
We're in BlackMilk outfits now in game.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that'd be cool. Imagine if you bought the one in real life and then you could get the outfit in game. That's an aside. But I mean, chat's making a fair point that like, even if they were to unlock everything, which they should, it will take them many years to do that.
Probably.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But it
And
seems
it's not
like
really
such
worth
a-
the effort anymore, is it?
Everything seems easier to us because we're not programmers.
I know, but when it's literally like, can they wear it? Yes, no. You know?
Yeah.
Like I know it's more complicated than that for sure, but like
I do think he should change his opinion. Well, what he says about this.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
it's silly now to repeat that. Not
Acknowledge
to
that
say
it's silly.
he has not repeated this. Like this has not come up again in a very long time, as far as I remember.
No.
So that is probably that. Maybe it's something they're considering. I don't know. I mean, it can't be something that they're like seriously thinking is like still a thing at this
no,
point.
I hope not.
That's an age-old quote. That's like a Realm Reborn thing, right? I think you said.
It might
It's not that
It
old.
was
No.
early.
I think
it
it was
early.
early.
It wasn't that early.
Stormblood or Heavensward around
Stormblood?
there.
Okay.
I
That's
think.
still too late because you still had the graded glamour prisms along with the the fucking type of glamour prisms too.
Yeah.
It's just well, actually, I do have to push back on one thing
Uh-huh.
on the fashion thing. I actually don't think we get that much tech stuff or like modern days as much as people think. Like if you go through the sets of like everything comes out per patch, a lot of it is still fantasy. There's some like occasionally some patches will have more focuses on like more tech-ish stuff, but in general you're still getting a lot of fantasy.
I mean, I agree with you because if it weren't the case, if it were the case that we got way more tech gear, there would be much more variety in what NPCs and Solution 9 wear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's quite easy to see when they start to repeat.
I think the key word here is cash shop. I mean, a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff you can buy on the Mog Station are streetwear. Like the streetwear, literally the streetwear stuff is all cash shop. You don't really get that in game. So
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you go to Eorzea Collection, the website that shows like gear sets,
Yeah.
you can look by patch, and it's like if you scroll through it, it's mostly like actual fantasy stuff.
yeah, well, it is. I would say that in this expansion, obviously, we've got more techie clothes than we would have in the previous
You also have
expansions.
to
But
think
that's
about
thematically
a lot
correct.
of the stuff they release in the patch as like dungeon gear and stuff is often
Yeah.
just recolors of old fantasy gear anyway.
True.
The poster boy type stuff, which is the new expensive
Artifact.
glams, are often
Relic. Yeah.
not always modern clothing, but like the noir trench coat and cashmere jumper. It might not be considered modern clothing, but it's
But-
normal. It's not.
One thing that's been interesting to see is that the artifact gear remains very rooted still in like fantasy. Like
Well,
that
that's
doesn't.
good, yeah, because that's their job identity.
Aside from the ones
Yeah.
that aren't supposed to be like low fantasy stuff.
Well, like-
that are more-
like Sage.
They all
Like
fit the job.
Machinist and Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboy Machinist, still the biggest mistake ever.
yeah. Yeah.
I hate the change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I still, even for Poster Boy stuff, like recently it was the Chaotic patch, like the entire set was like voids
That
and
stuff's cool, yeah.
stuff. Definitely like the fashion, like the crafted fashion items are usually more leaning into like modern day stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Even then, not always.
Mm.
I would even argue that the Void, the Cloud of Darkness gear does not match with what an Eorzean would wear.
Oh no, I agree there too.
No,
that's
It's
true.
it's
Void
it's
Sent
also
gear,
outside
but-
of the fantasy of
That's
Realm
true.
Reborn.
Like you couldn't wear this canonically, like in a
No.
city state.
It's just a different direction compared to streetwear,
I think
but
the
it's
point the point
Yeah.
Cameron Dunn is raising is exactly that, in that they've added so much stuff that completely just doesn't make sense in this world anyway.
Yeah.
That
So why is this
hold on to
arbitrary
Yes.
limit
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
still on there?
that's
Which,
a
yeah,
part I
I
definitely do
agree.
agree with.
Yeah.
I think the
Don't
answer
do it
right
no
now
more.
is just well, yeah, I agree, but I think the answer right now is just spaghetti.
Yeah.
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 I
But
wanted
it's
to
not
say
an
that.
excuse.
Because
I think it's will.
Can we clear out, like, so what exactly is it we want? So we want gear that is locked
I want to
currently
be able to wear all of my
You want to be
crafter
able to
and gatherer job stuff for sure.
glamour the appearance of gear
Mhm.
to other jobs.
Mhm.
Almost
the
all the
only gear lock I will accept is artifact gear.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
agree with
Yes.
that. That one I agree with, yeah.
If they really want to, which even then I'm like I don't.
Yeah, but
really
here's the
care,
thing.
But
Here's the thing. I think they consider the crafter and gatherer ones that they have as artifact gear, and those are also things that people want unlocked.
Mm,
but
You know,
that's-
like the
yeah.
Weaver
It-
one especially.
It's
They-
a sacrifice that I mean, if it meant we couldn't have them, but we could still have literally every other piece of gear that's not AF, fine, I'd accept.
well,
I don't want it, but
I
I'd
have
accept it.
I mean, if they were to unlock gear for everyone, because is it a way to make it easier to understand what kind of gear you need to wear, like when you get dungeon drops? Because that's how it's locked, right? It's,
I mean,
you get the gear and it
it'll
says.
say.
I mean, it will still say who it's made
yeah,
for.
appearance data should be separate from.
Okay.
We
From what? Yeah, because then that refers to like who the stats are for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying like a tank should be put on like maiming gear, like actually wear. They should be able to
No.
glamour it though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you can't just
I
put on the strength gear, you know?
Right.
It's
okay.
that's fine as is.
Well, is that
Keep
what's
that.
messing with the glamour system? Because the glamour system, you can only apply unlocked gear, which usually says all classes or all jobs, right?
Yeah. Or
Or
specific.
Or
gear that is
specifically
specific for your-
all the
Mhm.
jobs that it supports, which
Of
is
course, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. I think that when you glamour something over your gear, you've essentially like
equipped it.
you are wearing that gear.
Yeah, I think that
more or
too.
less.
So we need a
like a
separate
secret
system
hidden
that can
slot.
can ignore
I
that.
need more data
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
items to
I think
transfer.
that's what's causing this. Because if you try to glamour,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I think that's a spaghetti thing. Like, I think they could do this, but I think it's a much bigger ask than people think it is.
they would probably have to
Yeah.
like change the glamour system, which
Exactly. At this point, with where the game is 10 years on, do I really care anymore?
I don't
You
know.
I would have expected them to put in the effort to fix this sort of thing when, during Shadowbringers, when the game was off the charts success levels.
I mean, they could, because like we said, like it doesn't have to say. Oh, maybe it does. No, I've
Okay, actually, here's like
armchair
the monkey's paw
programmer.
version,
Yeah.
right? Here's the monkey's paw thing that I think we can maybe even possibly get, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can glamour anything, right? On any job, whatever,
Mhm.
any crafter, gatherer, but only after it's been made a full set in the glamour dresser.
That's
I think.
fine. Why
I
not?
mean, I.
That's a
don't-
new
that
system,
doesn't
so it
bother
shouldn't be
me.
too hard to
Yeah.
sort out.
Well,
I'm not even saying like how
I am
easy or hard
assuming-
it would be.
I'm
I just think that to
assuming.
be the monkey's paw version.
Yeah, I'm
I mean-
assuming that when they make a new system in 14, they make it easier. Like they don't code it in 2010's language.
that's what I was gonna say. I agree with you that you would think that.
Mm.
I worry that that's not the case.
Yeah. I think this game is made out of just Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid. So, like, you just...
I feel like that's
no
been
longer
on
see
game,
the
right?
person underneath.
Add
They
another
have
Band-Aid. Just
Yeah.
keep
Remember,
piling
they've
on them.
specifically talked about how they can't find. Sometimes they can't find new programmers to work on this game because they're not familiar with how this game works
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
back end.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's-
think that's the problem most games run into that like run for a long time. I think WoW
Yeah.
briefly had that problem they had to do that entire like code base change. I think
Mhm.
that one was it Warlord to Drainer. I think they had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
let's just remember, Rollo,
Hmm.
for our favourite World of Warcraft game,
Okay.
when they added their glamour log,
Mm-hmm.
they made it so the day you logged in after that patch, every single item you had ever equipped in the past whether you have it in your inventory or not. Every single quest item that you've ever interacted with was in your glamour dress. Done.
Yeah.
Because Blizzard gave a shit about making it work.
Okay.
Whereas-
Maybe it's just like
I don't think
company...
it's about giving a shit. I think WoW was
mean, I
able
don't
to
think
build
they
its own
care
game
enough.
from the ground up, which
I think
Yes,
it's
and
the
it
current
was-
team did not.
I think it's a resource thing, really. Like for,
Yeah.
I mean, WoW
I mean-
was Blizzard's thing.
Well, true, yeah.
You know?
Yes.
14
Yeah.
is Square Enix's like side chick.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah.
they love them.
I
They
mean-
love them, but you know.
Yeah.
With
WoW had a lot
When-
of money and a lot of milk to
Yeah.
keep the devs
The Realm Reborn was built when they were hurting financially, and they
Yes.
had to put it together in 2 years on top of an old game. So
when you say every piece of gear you ever equipped, so that would mean WoW stored that data. We don't know if 14 ever kept the data of every piece of gear you've ever worn.
Yeah,
No.
however Blizzard made WoW was a lot more scalable and modular and just better thought out than 14 is, sadly.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how much this applies, but remember that devs in Japan are essentially programming in another language, because all programming languages are based on English.
That is true, but
I mean,
I feel like
Are you
once
saying
you're
it
a
makes them
master, you're a
inferior
master.
programmers?
there are
that's not what I
programmers
said.
in
Well,
other
what are you
countries that
implying
don't
here?
speak English.
That's also true.
Yeah. So
I mean, they're all. It's a lot of abbreviations and stuff to like int and search and stuff. So I
The
think
interesting
they would just
thing is
know
because they don't look at it like a language as well. I think they look at it like a series of like pieces.
it. Hmm.
I don't know anything about this, so
I don't know how that would make it relevant to this part personally. but-
no. They are in a competitive environment like everyone else in the world. You know, there are programmers all over the world that are able to make games that work. You know, so I don't know. I think the main reason is that they didn't. This isn't fully their game. You know, this is the game built on top of someone else's game that was
That's true.
not very well programmed, which was actually a problem during 1.0's run. Like the short run, they already knew they were in trouble when they were going through the netcode and the back, you know, everything. It was poorly made because it was rushed. Remember, this was rushed into release.
I wonder how much code is shared between 11 and 14, or at least back then.
I think they copied
lot
and
of-
pasted it and then made new graphics.
I think a lot of the like netcode
Yeah.
was 11 copied. Like it was a lot of the
yeah,
same.
no wonder it was so dog shit. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that was probably mostly switched out for A Realm Reborn, but it was bad.
Trying to make a modern game on quite an old MMO, which was designed to be played on the PS2, is an insane thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish that they'd been able to make this game more scalable and modular at launch.
Yeah.
I wish 1.0 had never existed. to be honest.
yeah.
Wish this
I
game
wish
never
Yoshi
sucked.
I wish Yoshi P had been able to make it in the
He's
WoW
been-
clone of his dreams.
They've done a lot. I mean, if
They've
we
done
are,
so much good, but
we have it so good now that we forget how
Dark Ages.
the
We do
Dark
forget
Ages.
the Dark Ages.
When
But
I
we'll always
see
be held back, and it just gets frustrating.
seeing like video recordings from like earlier Realm Reborn to see that it takes like 20 seconds to open the menu, like just
Those were the
The most
days.
evil cursed thing I see is like the menu buttons with 2 rows.
yes.
I love
That was
that.
like,
That's
that
it.
was like a 2 up until like 2.2 kind of thing or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Playing with someone
Oh.
on PS3 and waiting like 5 minutes for them to zone in.
Yeah.
No teleporting while mounted.
Mhm.
No partying up with friends for
No,
roulette.
no.
How do you want to even
No.
fucking play this game?
You
Playing
couldn't
on the
even talk to NPCs without you had to dismount manually.
Yes, you did. There was it didn't dismount you. It was fucking annoying. And then if you were playing on PS3, 720p, 20 frames per second.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Oh my god! I remember. I have vivid memories of my friend doing Heaven's Word and fucking on the PS3.
Oh, yeah, they-
and he's
Oh.
like my frame rate.
Yeah.
I can't see shit on Thornton.
God.
Uh,
Yeah. The PS3, they ran that one a little too long. A little too long.
Good for them. You know what? We
yeah.
like longevity support.
Of course.
Yeah,
I
of
mean, the
course.
issue is that they made the promise, and at least they stuck to it.
They
Because a lot
stuck
of
to it.
companies actually don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Although
Combination of
1.0
things,
was
guys.
technically promised for PS3, and that never happened.
what was?
1.0 was technically going to be on
Yes,
PS3, but
it
never
was. Yeah, that would never.
Because I remember when
There
we got
is
our
no
PS3,
chance in
watching
fucking
the trailer
hell
for 14.
that game would ever run on the PS3. It barely run on PC.
I'm pretty sure they'd have managed it.
Okay.
Tanika
we-
with his ideas a bit further.
You think they could manage it with all the things that are stuck in this game? Sorry.
Well, we're going to talk about this now with part 1 of the question.
Hooray!
It's about side content. So let's start the great discussion. Yes, and we're talking about side content. The state of side content in Final Fantasy XIV. Now, this is based on an article. We've discussed this before, like
Opinion
this
piece.
opinion
We
piece.
love this.
Yeah.
We love this.
This is from Wisdom of Nim. It's been a few years, I think, actually, since we've last read anything from here. Possibly.
I think it's actually been more recent than that.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't remember. It feels like it's been a long time. This headline is just hit me. Final Fantasy XIV's pointless side quests and fates. It's a bit harsh of a headline, but let's see what he means.
Is it wrong?
Is it wrong?
Let's
Well,
see.
way back in the time of Stormblood, we were told that Final Fantasy XIV was getting rid of combat-based leave quests because they were basically redundant and not fun. They were, in a word, pointless. Not strictly useless, but Heavensward had already made them pretty inconvenient, and the idea of having bigger ones really didn't pan out. Of course, the real problem there was the fact that the only leave meets were back in Ishgard, but I digress. We'll get back to this. This content was no longer serving a purpose, therefore it got put aside. So why are our maps still covered in side quests with each new expansion? To be clear here, I am not saying that I do not enjoy the side quests of the game or want them to go away. I like that we have these quests that explore little bits of the culture, theoretically. The problem is that most of them don't, and unless you specifically want to do them for that reason, they are really devoid of any point. And it seems as if the game even knows this, which only raises further questions. Let's start by backing up a bit. When the game relaunched, the goal was very clearly to take inspiration from 2 games that were, at the time, very well known and successful, and had a consistent approach to leveling up. I don't even need to name them. You know the games they are just because they had walls of side quests in each new zone and dynamic event that spawned throughout the area. These became Final Fantasy XIV's side quests and fates, obviously. They sat alongside the game's dungeons and leave quests as tools to level. Tools that were especially important because Final Fantasy XIV characters have several jobs to level, and so players need a bunch of different approaches. However, there was a problem. It was always there, but it got more pronounced as time went on, and it's a problem that's just symptomatic of the game's design. Final Fantasy XIV's combat is really just at its most fun in dungeons and in parties. This could be a problem if it were harder to form groups, but it isn't. It's really pretty effortless, and even more importantly, it's fast. Even fast enough that most players can do some other things that are low impact while waiting for queues. In terms of structure, this makes perfect sense, and the game's roulettes double down on this element. Where this becomes a problem is that it means that open world combat is just never going to be nearly as interesting. And if we're being honest, that's the real reason why leave quests got yoinked from combat jobs. Odds are that if a player still wants to level after doing all of the leveling roulettes on a job, they will just run a dungeon. Especially since it's more rewarding, and the game literally runs on making it more rewarding. So far, so good. But then we still have side quests and fates sticking around, which is content in search of a purpose. You might point out that fates have bicolored gemstones as a reward, which is true, but even then there's a problem with some fates just being more rewarding for the same amount of effort in order to get those gemstones. And they're not exactly engaging content. The gameplay comes down to avoid AoEs while spamming your own AoE for everything but boss fates, which require a single target rotation. Oh, and sometimes you need to talk to an NPC to get credit. Amazing. Side quests are even worse. Fates are at least Fates at least feel brainless in a good way. Side quests usually involve doing a task that is neither challenging nor engaging, and it's for at best scraps of lore or setting information. And even setting information. And even that is mostly contained in the 2 zone quests that have a bit more length to them. But they're usually rather light on point, so much as a window into the zone's existing character alongside setting up NPCs for the later Allied Society quests. Sorry, my computer is spamming me with notifications.
It's like my trader.
Very
Come on.
Not again.
Another one? I already gave you a fucking Magikarp. Before you ask what I have against this content, the answer is nothing. I have the map cleared of side quests in every single zone. I have done this content every single expansion, so believe me when I say that this is utterly superfluous to the game and doesn't really enhance anyone's play experience. It feels like content that's there because it's expected to be there, and if you have this zone, you have to fill it with something. And that is not good. It's not how things should be. We're talking about a game that takes pains to make content viable and relevant no matter what. And yet here we are with a huge amount of content in every expansion that you basically don't need to do. Some of them reward gear or minions, sure, but what about all the other quests? Do you really want to do them? If you didn't care about the Corn Servant minion, what would your motivation be to actually do those quests? Completionism, mostly. So what can be done here to make this stuff worthwhile? I don't think having a map full of side quests no one wants to do is really a good state of affairs. And while having them sync to your current level makes them more worthwhile than they would otherwise be, they're still not great experiences for the time they take. More importantly, I don't want to propose, what if doing all of these quests get you a thing? Because that's just gating additional content behind a bunch of nonsense. It would also require designing more content. And I don't think Fates or side quests need that to be relevant. Here's my thought. First, side quests should have their experience reward bumped up. But second, why not convert that experience to something else if you're already at the level cap? Imagine if doing a Fate got you extra gemstones if you were at the level cap. If you need a little more gatekeeping, tie it to being at the level cap and also having your free market requirements finished up. And to just drive further participation, have a specific zone in each level band be designed as a hotspot with increased gem/experience rewards. That would drive players both leveling and not to that level, and it would make Fates at least feel more rewarding, if not any more complex. For side quests, the obvious thing would be to turn excess experience into gil, but I think turning it into gemstones would also work, and I feel like giving more of the side quests a wider array of actual rewards would help. While you get gear coffers of an appropriate level band from some, that's not really much incentive most of the time. Most players do not really care about that. What if you could also take rare materials that were normally enemy drops? Ventures. I don't think any of these ideas is a magic bullet, but I feel like any of them would at least help. The developers spend time making each of these quests to populate a zone, but for a lot of players, they're just irrelevant filler. And if the quests don't have a reason for players to take part in them, well, they may as well not be there. They are, in a word, pointless. Okay, well, there you go.
Do you want to start with, Likio? Do you want to start with Leves, or do you want to start somewhere else?
Well, let's talk about the side quests first. And then we can talk about like open world leveling just in general.
Well, what do we just ask? Like, do you guys do the side quest scenarios?
Yes.
Like, do you do all of them?
Yes, I've done every side quest.
I do them.
Through Dawn Trail.
Okay, yeah, Georgi obviously would do all of them, but I do them slowly. I didn't do them for Shadow. I fell behind. I did them on Stormblood maybe, but I always fall behind, and then when I fall too far behind, I give up because it is overwhelming. Like the side quests are
very overwhelming.
And he has a point when he says that a lot of them don't really give you much. Like it's maybe a dude that, lives somewhere, and now a dude lives somewhere, and that's the quest, and then you get 500 gil, and some XP. Mm-hmm. It does feel kind of bloated. We've talked about the side quests before. I mean, I like the ones that actually give world lore, We've talked about that. But...
I think, specifically with Dawn Trail, I can say this. there were too many side quests in the first 3 zones and too few in the last 3. And I would say maybe outside of Shaloni, depending on your own opinion.
Yeah.
There was not enough lore in the last 2 zones. I actually really appreciate it, especially the side quests in Living Memory are some of the best side quests they've ever had. In terms of like establishing lore within the game. If they were all to that level and around, like, the problem is there were too many in the early zones and they weren't at the quality level that they were in the later zones.
No.
So I would be okay if they were at that later quality and that amount.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
I do them. I do half of them essentially every expansion since Stormblood or Shadowbringers, I think, because my usual path, right, of when before the XP buff is important, for the XP buff to quests that were level synced, right, and where they gave you like a decent like little chunk, enough for you to like get a level if you're like almost there. What I would do is every MSQ while you're going through the area, when you go to like the new hub of the quest that you're at, not necessarily like an Aetheryte zone, but like whatever new hub you're at,
town.
The quest will pop up, and it's usually about like 5-ish quests, right?
Yeah.
And I do them while doing the quest because they're usually pretty good about making them in general along the way of doing the main quest. And it was pretty all right there. I got enough variety where like, oh, this is interesting. This one was kind of boring. It was a fetch quest. Yeah. This one was an Aetheryte quest or whatever. Those are usually the better ones in general, Aetheryte quest or required quest. But ever since they added the XP buff, or they buffed up the mountain you get, I stopped doing as much because if you end up doing MSQ and all the quests along the way, you are way over leveled. Like every single time I do it, I am over leveled by like the level 96 or 97 quest.
Yeah.
And that makes it not satisfying as like I'm not like a min-max or anything, I'll say in this game for sure. I mean, but like I'm wasting MSQ XP and that feels bad. Yeah. And when I do that, I go back and I level another job to catch up to the MSQ so I can keep getting the MSQ.
That's what I did in Heavenswood. And it's an issue, actually, that I had this expansion such that I was leveling. I don't do the side quests as I'm going through the MSQ for the most part, except for, like, Aetheryte quests. But, like, even with just the MSQ this expansion, I leveled 2 jobs as I was running through Dawn Trail.
Yeah. I think, in terms of XP, it is weird to say this. I think Dawn Trail's almost too generous with it.
Yeah.
At least in the the last 10 level or the 90 to 100 thing, because I find myself not having to do as much, and not being able to do kind of things I want. Because also the other thing too is that like I love Fates. Like the way Lukiel loves Leves.
Yeah.
I love Fates. Like, so much so, every time I hear the fucking Fate song, like the Hard to Miss, Hard to Miss, right? With the violin, I'm like, oh, I'm son of a Realm Reborn. Yeah, I like doing this.
Yeah,
and I love doing them while I'm waiting to queue, and that makes it even worse. Where if I do that enough, depending on like the expansion, I will be at like level 95, 94 quest, and already be capped out. Because I was just kind of doing Fates and like level sync quests along the way, and I'm like, I want to do these things, but the game makes it gives me too much for doing them almost in terms of XP, which is I think is a very weird. I don't know if it's a common problem, but I think it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, I agree, and the side quests are over. Side quests, though, like, cause you were talking about, you also brought up the MSQ, but like the MSQ ends at some point, and now you're left to like do the rest of the game, which leveling your other classes, and then you have side quests. When you finish MSQ or finish a step in the MSQ, and the side quests are unleashed, I get filled with malaise because dread and malaise, seeing just this.
I think this is a
sorry.
This is a CS3 issue. This is a Creative Studio 3 issue because you felt the same way in 16.
Yes, they did the same with 16 as well, which where they were backloaded it way too much with like side quests at the end.
Which is the opposite problem that
Yes.
Dawn Trail had.
Yes, there's a pacing issue with side quests. I feel like they need to.
Yeah. The thing I hate, I think the most is when what I do. I am on the side quest page. I'm doing the MSQ, right?
Mhm.
You'll do like the 5 or so quests that appear in that new town once you get there, and then you finish that town's area quest, and then like 7 more quests pop up. I'm like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was just done with this area,
Yeah.
and now like you know, like the Potts quest or whatever in Dawn Trail, like, oh, now like the old guy, like that quest continues.
Yeah.
Like I like that it continues, but I wish it was more like that was the 5 quests.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like
I
they're
think
going
it's
like,
kinda hard
you'll
to
never leave. Like they just you'll be here forever.
I think another problem with it is that they don't tell now, since they took out the specific level for each quest. I have no context as to when I was supposed to do these quests. It would be nice if there was something that indicated like you should do this at the same time you do the MSQ, because otherwise it will lose context later on.
Yeah.
Like the Corn Servant quest line is better if you do it, which I didn't do it simultaneously with the MSQ, is better if you do it at the same time as doing the MSQ.
Yeah.
For Dawn Trail, I tried to keep up with the side quests as I was going along with MSQ, and a lot of them are contextual, so they'll be like, oh, I saw you talking to the Palu Palu woman, and now let's go and do this. They make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say in terms of my enjoyment when it comes to side quests, like I said, I get the variety, right? There's some highs, a lot of mids, and occasionally like this was a waste of time. But it's definitely enhanced when you have the context, because I'm doing the quest while I'm doing the MSQ, and that makes it feels better. Like it feels like it matters a bit more, and it makes more contextual sense, because you're not like coming back what would be like maybe like a week in game, and then just like, hey, that was cool what you did at Mount Gug or whatever. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
I think the issues is strongly around rewards, because if you leave them all to the end for alt jobs, I really don't think they give adequate experience to really want to like. They give you enough to maybe get half a level in a zone if you're lucky, and that's shit for the amount of time you spend on them. Because they take a lot of time, and sometimes it's great lore and it's cool, and sometimes it's go and collect some mud or it's like 3 herbs,
and you can never tell.
No,
there's no way of knowing.
Some quests will start out like really boring, and then you'll get to an NPC and talk like, oh wait, this is actually like something interesting. But like at best, if it's a requirement quest for the eighth occurrence, or maybe the future beast tribe, or if it's allied society or whatever. Those in general are more interesting. Not always good, but there's more meat on the bones.
I just wish there was a way to know beforehand, because like there was a quest that continues the beaver stuff in Tuliolal, but you don't know that until you start the quest line.
Right.
Or like I would like an indication of like what I'm getting into beyond a very non-indicative like short sentence.
One line of text.
Ooh, the worst one are city hub quests, I think.
I never do them.
And like any main city, right? For the whatever expansion is. Like the Crystarium too, because like you'll come back and you're like, was this quest added? Away, and then you don't know, because it could be the shitty like level 90 quest. It's like, hey, welcome to Lilal, go eat a taco, or something. Or it'll be like the one at the Endwalker city, where it's like, go talk to Thancred's like mentor and through the letter, or something, which is like, this should be labeled as something.
This is really cool.
Like why isn't this like thing being brought to my attention somehow?
And the other issue is that city-state ones don't even have the conceit of like pretending there's going to be combat.
Right.
So like you don't. You just suspect that you're going to be walking around for the most part.
Yeah.
Whereas if they, like, I wish there were more quests that ask you to do things, like find things without the quest indicator, like the Thancred one, or even like. This might excite you, like conditions like leave quests, Liqueur, where it's not just go here, pick up something, kill something.
Yeah.
Like there's more to it than that.
Well, Yeah, we can shift over then because I think we all agree on the quest. Maybe we need a new icon,
Well,
like a new quest icon.
I think
agree
there
on
needs
some
to be
parts.
so many different icons that indicate
Yeah.
what a side quest is.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot they can do on them, but I will say this lad's coming off as a little jaded.
I'm of the mind. I think, in general, side quests should be halved in terms of how many there are.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
he's right in that it feels like they're just tick box exercise now because it's an MMO. It's expected. But at the end of the day, what are you gaining? I agree that if you're doing them at cap, or similarly with face, whatever, you should be getting more than 500 gil.
Yeah,
You should be getting like 10k gil.
you should be getting
you should be getting a lot of gil.
you should be getting.
You're getting a copper with gear, Mela. Come on.
Yeah,
We're level 100. We've defeated God.
Yeah.
We should be getting more money.
Well,
That's
that's
an economy issue,
Shake
Mela.
them down.
it's I don't know if they can do that. Like the economy would crash if they started giving
The
us
economy
too much
won't
money.
crash.
That's the
It's a
problem
Yes,
with
it
side
would.
quests. It would,
The
Mela.
economy's already
That would
fucked
put
up.
the would put the thing more in the favor of crafters mainly because crafters would raise what their prices are based on the amount of money everyone
We'd
gets.
have
And then-
inflation.
It's gone to shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have like insane hyperinflation technically.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
MMO, by the way, has
Yeah.
insane inflation.
But you almost never need to actually participate in purchasing things because most things you can gain without spending a dime anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
The economy in this game is weird.
Well, there are things you have to buy off the market board, to be fair. I mean, unless you want to
Most lifestyle things are from the market board, Mela.
Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah, but if you think that
I mean,
shit's
Mela's
lame,
thinking you can
you're wasting the
craft it
money.
yourself, but not everyone's
Yeah.
going to be a fucking carpet. Like that's think about real life. I can't craft
Every
a
crafter in
table.
this game, every single crafter in this game is an omni crafter.
Yeah, every
Yeah, because
crafter is.
there's no
Yes.
point
There's no
in
choice.
being anything less.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
So
sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I value my time more than my
I will-
time more than my money.
I will
Mela.
just buy things off the market board, and if I
Yeah.
do it, many others will. You know, that's just how it is.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
Just,
Yeah.
people be shopping, Mela. People be shopping.
They do be shopping. They don't
Um,
have to.
but anyways, side quests aside, that is an issue. I think that maybe they acknowledged as well. I remember we talked
They
about
have
this,
acknowledged it, yes.
that this was a little overwhelming. So that
But
might
I think
change.
what they acknowledged it was that they said that there was too much lore in the MSQ and they might put it more in side quests.
Yeah, which
I think is the opposite of the solution we want.
Yeah.
Double the amount of side quests so you can get all that lore.
fill the
actually, you know
whole
what?
map with icons so you can't see
Yeah.
anything unless
Well,
you clear them.
that was already something that they already went back on. I think it was in Shadowbringers. They said, "Oh, there's too many side quests on the map. We'll reduce it a little bit for
Yeah.
Endwalker." And I think they tried to do that more with Dawn Trail, but it's still too much.
Yeah.
One more step, and also, you know what? Fuck it. The era of side quest is over. Long live Fates. Fates.
All the lore
Well,
is in the Fates.
I think they should invest more in Fates, and
I agree, Rollo.
I
and-
agree as well.
because it is so easy to do while you're doing literally anything else, right?
Yeah.
You could be gathering and be like, okay, my node's up. Like I just grabbed it. While I'm waiting for it again, I'm waiting for the next node or whatever, my timer. Let me go get this Fate real quick. You know, like, why not?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
I also think too they should just make them harder. They should make them boss level Fates more often.
I
Yeah.
think there
I
should
agree
be
with
something
that.
like that every now and then.
I-
And I also think there should be more conditions than either pick shit up,
Yeah.
kill group of enemy, or kill boss.
What happened with experimenting with fates? Like they did, like in
I know,
Stormblood with that weird icon where you
Oh, yeah,
that
the-
thing
the
is
escort
like heading
one.
towards.
The
They were
one-
trying
one-
something and abandoned
Stop
it.
the payload Fate.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
only one quest. And, yeah, there's only one in the whole
And
game.
do fates that are like, remember in A Realm Reborn, there are fates that are conditional based on how you did in the previous one. If one fate fails,
Yes.
the next fate is like reflects that, or if you win, it reflects that. Like I need like chain fates are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Like
problem
Chat's
in here
saying,
too.
why not do what's the thing they did in Bullshit with the notes? Every zone should have 10 notes you can get from Fates, and it gives you lore.
More
about that zone.
collectibles from the fates. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think the Fates is they have such a good like base, like foundation, right?
Yeah.
You can really build on it. Most MMOs have overworld content of this kind, just like on a timer doing whatever pop-up essentially quest.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But like they did build it with Bosja already. Like
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
those Fates are like they're pretty tough
Mhm.
and more interesting. I mean, in general, it's a single target thing for most of them.
But they have mechanics that you need to avoid.
Yeah, like you can.
I assume you're talking about skirmishes and not critical engagements.
Yes, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the skirmishes. Critical engagements too. I think they should
I mean,
add
I'd
like
love-
one or two.
I think
in every-
there should be critical engagements in the overworld.
In
Yeah.
every zone. And
Sure.
it's the same
That's like
context where you queue up for it and
It's
have to
like-
do it. Like, why not?
It's like a highly notorious monster like spawning in like
Exactly.
overworld in like 11.
It's a heck of a
So
lot more
you-
fun
you-
than finding an S rank.
Yeah. So I think that
In fact, you can even add the S rank mechanics in there, or
Yeah,
as
exactly.
in
They
like you
should be
have to
hard.
spawn them.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to spawn them, you have to have done this fate like
Mhm.
a dozen times.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for
That'd be
it to
so
start.
good.
And you know what? Another thing too. For chains, label them on the map. As
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
on the
agreed.
fate in the little
Yes.
circle, it'll say like 1, and then
Yes,
the next one
I
will be
agree.
like 2. So like you know
You know
it's a
it's
fucking
reset
chain.
or whatever
And
as well.
for critical engagements or whatever they want to call it when in the new overworld in our thought experiment, bring back like weather conditions. Like bring back like
Yes.
Odin
Yeah,
makes
like
the
Odin,
shroud
yeah.
look weird. Like just change the zone a little to make it more epic.
Even just that. No, you go first, Rollo.
I said even just like the cute little mechanic of like whoever last kills Odin gets to turn into them. Like
Yeah.
that shit's cool.
That is
like it's and that's definitely I feel like old MMO stuff that you can like
Yeah.
really sneak into a modern MMO audience and they'll be like all about it, you know.
Because now it's so old that it'll be new for a lot of people that have never experienced this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, for Yoshi P has been very like. I will always remember he said before A Realm Reborn launched that the era of overworld leveling is over with Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. He said that
Not for me,
specifically.
baby. I still do those fate parties.
That was untrue in
Yeah.
Base Realm Reborn.
It is, yeah, it's not true. I guess he meant like just killing mobs because that's how you leveled in 1.0. But like that era, that was impossible in A Realm
there's a lot
Reborn.
of
You couldn't just
people
go
who
out and
yearn
like
for that.
farm sheep and level. You know, you wouldn't
I mean,
be
one
able
of
to
my-
do that.
This adds to my thing of like, I wish you could see enemies that are higher level than you in zones. They have
Yeah.
not
Right.
done that since Heavenswood.
The
No,
issue is
I
in
think
an
it's an
old
accuracy
MMO,
thing though, right? They can't do that anymore because of accuracy.
oh,
Yeah, but that
yeah.
just don't kill them then.
yeah,
That's fine.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
just
idea.
like a scary thing. Okay.
Yeah.
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 But
I
in-
want
in-
there to be danger.
In old MMOs, you would very carefully creep through a zone. You'd be in a group. Sometimes you'd sit in one spot for like an hour,
just to wait.
having one guy pull crabs to you, so
Yeah.
you could kill the crabs one by one. And you'd sit and you'd chat and you'd meet people,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a social experience. And
Yeah.
that
Is that what was supposed to happen
unfortunately-
when we were playing 11? Because that what makes me want to end myself in
No,
Minecraft.
don't slander 11 here.
it's what's meant to happen in that kind of game, and-
I thought that was quite fun.
I like that.
That
It's
part-
a social, cozy
It's
experience.
because you're not there. It's not the content necessarily. It's the whole
It's having
package.
a-
You're there with
yeah.
friends. You're just hanging
You're
out.
there with other real people. It's an MMORPG. That
Yeah.
doesn't exist much anymore. A lot of games try it. Some succeed, some fail, whatever. This game is not trying it.
Well, yeah,
We
I-
are,
Sometimes.
get things done as quickly as possible with minimum interaction.
that's true.
So why would we have these cool new fates? Why
Well-
would they bother making fates fun? Because no one wants, everyone just wants to get them as quick as possible and move on.
Well, the ironic thing is that the one thing that's supposed to give us more XP, we're getting less of in terms of dungeons. Like we get one
Also true, yeah.
dungeon per
But
patch now.
why do we need more than one dungeon if it gives the same XP to kill? We just
That's
keep
the
spamming that
problem.
one
Well,
It's
the problem is patch dungeons don't give XP, which might be why they're giving less of them.
yeah.
Well, also true.
That's
yeah,
true.
Once they get to cap.
One thing that we have not talked about, like Fates, is one. There's one system that can help with the side quest problem, with the ones that are less important, and that is Leves, because if
I
you
agree.
remember, Guild
Yeah.
Leves used to have a ton of lore tied to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
In-
Paragraphs.
yes.
It's been a while.
They still
I've
do.
Started,
Yeah,
they do.
they do.
I've started I think with Endwalker, I started reading Leave descriptions and like, wow, this is as interesting as some of the worst side quests. So
Yes.
I mean, just this is a nice alternative.
It is. And
That's good. A good way of world building.
You
but
can-
I'd rather they be battle as well.
remember, you can do leaves with friends. You can leave
Don't
link.
say the shit.
Leave
That
link.
system is still in the game, dude. Can you imagine, Rollo, going to like a leveling party, a leave leveling party, and you just do leave linking and you get loads of XP?
But you can only get like
Well,
Oh my.
a small
currently you
number of
can't.
leaves at once, and then you have to run back and grab them again.
Well, there has
Do
to
not
be.
join
The cap is
unless you have at least
16,
50
Mailer.
leaves.
That's true. It's 16, but it's not usually 6. There's not usually that many options from like the right level range in the zone.
Well, yeah, there has to be there has to be a limit to them because leaves, as they were quite
Why
powerful.
can't you
but-
have? Why can't you leave link chain? So the leaves have chains where
That would
they
be cool.
progress into new leaves. Get a chain bonus for the more.
You can evolve leaves. I mean, the leaves have been unchanged
Leaves
since
have been
Heavensward, so we don't.
destroyed since they got rid of battle.
Yeah, I mean, when I think it was a planned kill of combat
Yeah.
leaves when they introduced it in Heavensward because they nerfed everything about it.
This is one of the things that Lakil often does, where he will ascribe malice to what is often just.
I think this was done with malice
I
because
think so too.
when
agree.
They designed heaven. Temple leaves were made with evil in
with
their
malice.
hearts.
But listen, they added. It might have been right before Heavensward. It might have been like last patch of A Realm Reborn, or maybe it was Heavensward. Was when they changed the system. Remember when you finished a leave, it would ask you return to leave meat. You would be returned to the leave
yes.
meat that provided the leave, right? So you could deliver it. That was changed to return to nearest settlement. And when
Yeah,
your
because how would they
quest
change
is
that?
in the
How are they
Dravanian
supposed-
fucking Forelands,
How are they supposed to teleport you back to Ishgard?
Exactly. How are they going to teleport you to a different
how are they
zone?
going to teleport me to anywhere? Like I'm just disappearing and reappearing somewhere else.
How?
They have
like-
to zone in a whole new region.
So they
Nikhil.
introduced these new leave quests. They put them in
Temple leaves.
fuck all Ishgard, right? And which
That's
means
very racist.
which is
That's
in
not very nice.
a
That's
city.
my home
It's in a
country.
city. The ones in the city I never liked because you had to walk out like to like the actual zone to
I
start
agree
the,
with you
the
on
leave.
that. I almost never did ones from the cities that
Yeah.
started from the cities
I mean,
themselves.
lore-wise, though, they probably make the most sense.
No, because in lore,
You would
leave
have
meets
a
are at
leave
camps and settlements outside to like help with like guilds and stuff.
They've got a couple leaf plates on them, but the grand leaves, they're not going to give them to
Why
Grand
not?
Company leaves are in the overworld.
Grand
No, like the
companies do
temple
them.
leaves, sorry,
Yeah,
the
you think about
temple
temple
ones.
leaves, but sure.
they're big deal. So you got to have them out in the
Why?
city.
Why couldn't they have a
I-
representative
temple.
in Falcon's Nest? Is that a thing?
You have to understand that these
I
leaves are solid objects. They're little stained glass windows for some reason, and they
See-
have to
Oh,
be
they're so
transported throughout
cool.
the world. They are.
I
cool,
understand. Yeah, I agree. I understand why they implemented it this way, lore-wise,
Mhm.
because people don't exist in like the Churning Mists, which was one of the
Exactly.
zones you could get leaves for, or the Hinterlands. People don't live there, or they thought people didn't live there anymore.
Well,
so- That's the lore reason. It's not a good reason, gameplay-wise.
no, because they could just do what they do sometimes and be like, "Well, we've set up a temporary camp here with a leave meet." Like that.
They could-
That
100%
requires
could've.
transforming the world mid-game. Like,
No, they
yeah,
would do that
100%
from the start. I mean, when you unlock the leaves. I mean, I don't know. They do
I
that.
have to
in-
say, I love Lukiel implying that like they sabotaged Leaves in like an austerity politics form.
They did it,
where
Rollo.
it's like
They did it.
Look, it's bad because we made it bad,
They-
but it's bad, so let's not do them anymore.
That's what they did.
They did
I
do
swear.
It's
When
so funny.
when the receipts
Doing
drop, when
austerity
this game
fucking
shuts down,
13.
I'll be laughing because it'll say they'll release the texts from
Who
Yoshi
the
P
fuck
texting Tanaka being like, "Ha bitch, I'm fucking removing leaves, turn them into shit," and then I will laugh because I was right.
Yeah. As your 14 character gets deleted. You're like, yeah.
Yes. Nikhil will laugh to himself because the podcast won't exist at that point, obviously.
No,
No.
I will be alone laughing. Well,
I
anyways,
don't
but
really mind moving between. It wouldn't bother me to have to go to the
Bring
city
back
to
Return
collect,
to
like
Leave
5
Meet.
leaves. Yeah, add that back in. But like, I can go to Tuliolal, pick up 5 leaves, and jump out. And if
Yeah.
they're like the temple ones, where it's like a little mini dungeon almost, that's fun.
Yeah.
Let me have that.
Yeah.
Let me do that with friends.
Yeah.
There needs to be an option to return to the leave meet. Though.
Exactly. That's the
I
issue.
understand that if you pick up 5 for one zone, you obviously don't want to return every time.
No.
But
No.
like,
But it
give me
should
that
always
question.
Yes. Don't
It doesn't
return me
matter
to
where the origin
doesn't-
is.
the
It
thing
matters
is,
how to get back.
It doesn't make any sense that it's like return to nearest settlement. Why? I'm gonna
Because
have
the
to
leave
deliver
meet
my
there.
leave quest. The leave meet isn't in the nearest settlement. What do you mean?
Because then you can use the Chocobo Porter to Chocobo Porter back to your leave meet.
Yes. Why? But like, seriously though, leaves. There's so much. I mean, they're little mini quests that you can get on demand. That you can essentially do whatever you want with. They're able to like spawn enemies. They're able to spawn
Yeah.
items.
They have crazy conditions sometimes. Obviously, we don't want the Beacon quest back. No one
Yes,
likes
the
it.
Beacon quest.
Yeah. Yeah, the Beacon quest.
Sorry, I'm forever.
I didn't like that.
in-
Didn't like that response.
I'm forever in the fate camps. If you're gonna do leave, you might as well just do a fate. That's good.
No, but I think
because
I think they can be two separate things.
there are no fates where you have to pick up you have to find the imposter.
Yeah.
It's like Among Us.
Yeah.
It's
But also,
Us.
Rollo, you get fate is like you do on a timer. That you have to wait for that shit to pop.
I mean, leaves are on a timer too.
Well, if you are a leave fiend and you just use up all your fucking leaves, you know, in a day, of course, then.
Oh no, I was saying that you have 20 minutes to clear them.
Oh no, I'm talking about when they pop. Like you have to
Okay.
wait for fates, but
That's
the
true.
leaves you have on you, and you can do leaves while waiting for fates.
I'm gonna be
Endless
really honest
content.
with you. I wouldn't mind if they removed the majority of side quests and just did leaves, like battle leaves.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then
Because
all
you-
the side content,
you can
the side
put-
quest can just be the lore,
yeah,
the quest, and
Yes,
then
I
all
agree.
the battle content is just repeatable.
I mean,
leaves.
that's basically what I said. The worst side quests are the equivalent of leaves or fates, but less interesting.
yeah,
exactly. There's so
Like
much you
in
can
gameplay
do.
wise.
yeah.
Like a leave transforms the world. You could have a cave that has just sprites in it, but
Yeah.
then it has leaves associated with that, turn into a little mini dungeon.
Yeah,
with a
that's
little
what they did
boss.
in 1.0, which is probably
so
one of the
good.
few good things that they had. It's all they had with
I
leaves.
don't know why they reduced it to the crafting one, which.
Well,
and the other
crafting
ones,
leaves
which
are
is-
good for
it's just
XP, but
so too good for XP.
yeah.
Almost.
No. Well,
No.
what do you want? You want people
Don't
just
say that.
crafting just
you fucking say
crafting without any like. That's disgusting.
No, no,
I'm
but I
censoring
just
this
think
part of the
that-
podcast. Censoring that.
No,
Noting the time.
it's just why have that as an easy way of leveling them, but have nothing to level battle quests with.
But that is-
That's
yeah,
what fates are for.
To
Yeah.
bring this back to the article for a moment, I think this is emblematic of for modern 14's issue in general, and that they've done enough experimentation. They tried so many things in the past, and they have so many systems in place in so many different areas, but they don't know how to put it together. We're like, I think maybe as players we can see the potential of like expanded leaves. We can see the potential of expanded fates, right? But I think of like that fucking Biden meme where he's like, let's see, okay, smart guy, let's see you take a crack at it. It's the 2 smiley face puzzle pieces. Where it's like the pieces are right there.
Yeah.
Yoshi Pete, you can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just put it together.
Yeah.
All the ingredients are there.
Yeah.
We have tried so many things and done so much. Just
think-
put it in the bag.
Yeah.
There's an issue in that when they do try something new, though, if it's not immediately perfect or exactly what the majority of people want, there's a lot of we
Screams.
don't like this, don't do this
Yeah,
again. And
moaning.
then
Yeah,
they
that's
kind
the
of
issue.
Go,
That's the
okay,
thing.
well, we
is that
won't.
What if
The
they gave up
community has
on
made this game what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if they'd given up on Eureka after Pagos?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have been money well saved, but
Well-
I mean, it would have been sad still.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that I feel like at this point, like with modern 14, older 14, the problems are different, right? But like they have already tried a bunch, and they kind of know what to expect from the community,
Yeah.
what works for the most part, and what parts people like. They've already had the backlash. They've already had the feedback. We've already been through the rigmarole.
Mm-hmm.
Just put the puzzle together, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of systems they could.
These are systems that are
more fun.
They feel abandoned, which is very sad because there are. I mean, we do still get new fates, but it's like the same fates. Like they're very few like unique.
There's three
ones.
types of fates.
Yeah, there are 3 types
Gather
of fates.
things, kill a boss, kill monsters.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think we all agree that we need just better overworld content now. Like we have.
I wish the game's not designed. around
Instanced
it,
content
but
we
it would
have.
be nice.
We have that. That's good. That's good content. The overworld needs more. More than just side quests and the same 3 fates, you know.
MSQ
And maps.
That's
maps.
you know, that's all dope. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
But you just assemble it, man. It's all there. All the pieces are there. All 2
I
pieces.
just want, outside of hunts, I'd love to see a level 100, like, it would be cool if there was like a level 100 Morble in Cosmoka, and if you got too close, it would just bonk you and you'd be dead.
Yes. I
They
do miss
should do more of
The
the
days of those
dangerous overworld mobs is something I miss,
I miss those.
which they also
They
had
the thing
should have
is-
before.
that, what's that one mob in the Tempest where it eats the little Aurelias, I think?
Oh, yeah.
And then it can insta kill you.
Yes.
If it gets
Yeah,
3
yeah,
stars.
the
Yeah.
the
I think
clients.
they're for the- the
Yeah,
Clyde.
yeah.
Like you can do that shit for fun. Like it's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
Like I know people hated it back in the day when like for some reason they put like quests markers or like quest objectives near A rank and B rank spawns.
Yes.
I think they've figured out now that A rank and B ranks are like made at the start of expansions. They know where to not put quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you should do
should
it
have
again
a
just a little
chance
bit. It's
of-
kind of
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I
It is
liked
kind of
when
funny,
we
yeah.
saw that red cactus at the start of Shadowbringers, and we
Yes.
were talking about Discord. Georgi killed it, and we moved on. But like, it
Yeah.
was fun seeing it.
Yeah, yeah,
I-
yeah.
Yeah,
I miss
a bunch of level 71 through 74 people killing a fucking A rank
Yeah.
well before you were
That's
supposed
just
to.
fun.
Yeah.
Like it's
makes-
there's no consequence these days. Like
Exactly.
if you die in the overworld, maybe
you know
you
what?
lose credit for fate.
It's a pain in the ass, but
Yeah.
it's pretty much a
I've
slap on
been
the wrist.
getting the strongest tingling recently to give the
You should go to a
Hardcore WoW
doctor.
Classic
Mm.
servers a go. Just
Oh,
to see
God.
what
You
they're
should
like.
definitely go to a doctor,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that shit looks fun.
but maybe a psychiatrist rather
God.
than a GP.
Do you guys what's the special fate in Kalusia? The big mech one? In Breakable and in Ironclad?
Indomitable is the name of the boss, but I can't remember the name of the fight.
Yeah,
yeah.
Indomitable. There's like a popular clip that went around when that Shadowbringers came out, where someone was doing the fate and they died, and then they respawned in Kalusia again in the same area, and they still had the AOE target marker, and they killed like 5 people in the same.
Oh my God.
Where, like, I think that kind of stuff should happen like a little bit more.
I agree.
Yeah.
More than like a 1% chance. you know?
Yeah.
You're not safe anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, anything can happen.
I do miss that.
I think more than 1% chance of that happening is quite terrifying, because
Yeah.
that's how you end up with like disease spreading like in WoW.
Oh,
Exactly.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
You need a little bit
studied
of
that.
chaos.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a great study in
It
just like
is.
disease spreadability.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
have used those studies during the Great Plague.
Introduce Allegan Rot to to
overworld.
Fates, yeah.
Imagine if there was a debuff where, unless like it has to be passed on forever,
Yeah.
just constantly, or you'll just
You have to
your character will get
infame
deleted.
Limsa.
You're-
So you just
What
have to
is
keep
this?
passing it on.
Oh my
This
god.
is fucking. That's the
Night-
premise of It Follows, Mela.
Yeah.
The horror
You have to
movie.
give- You have to give your venereal disease to someone in Limsa right now.
You have like
It's
1
over.
minute to spread it, or your character will get deleted.
God.
Anyway, you should be. Devs shouldn't be scared to fuck with players a little bit. You know,
I agree.
like you
I
know,
agree.
it's a video game.
I think the players of 14 could do with it, to be honest, a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? You need to knock down the cat girls and Limsa like down. A
Yeah.
peg.
Yeah, yeah.
We
We
have
don't.
it too easy.
There are no stakes
Ah.
really in the world.
Allegan
Yeah.
Rod is the perfect way to deal with bots.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, that's our thoughts on side content. I guess we've
It's potential. There's
Oh, there's
so much
near
potential.
infinite potential. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's like all the pieces are right there, man.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Unlike
Yoshi.
before, if you asked me during like Heaven's Word or like maybe even Stormblood, like we're in a weird state right now. Like Eureka's cool, but and fucking what was that Adventure Zone from Heaven's Word? God damn.
The diadem?
The diadem, where I'm like, okay, we're in dire straits a little bit.
Yeah.
Now enough time has passed. We've experimented. We know like what we can and can't do in
That's
this
true.
game.
I mean, we wouldn't have Bosio without what started as the diadem in all likelihood.
True
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're on the way. A little less time advertising left-handed gaming devices and toilet seat headphones, and a little more time making the game competent.
I don't
appreciate
think
it.
Less
that
boring
the people
collabs.
that are programming the game and making those decisions are the same people that are in the sales department reaching out to companies for collaboration.
With my understanding of the team size, Georgi, I believe they are the same people.
No, you don't.
I
See,
suspect the sales team is not even in CS3. I think they come to Yoshi P and say, "We've found someone for you.
Yeah.
Talk to them now."
Yeah.
We've heard of this BlackMilk.
oh, wow.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's our thoughts. We'll have to wrap up. We are way over time. Well, let us know what you think. Send us a MogMail if you want us to discuss this further, or leave us a comment if you're watching this on YouTube.
Leave us comments of what you won in the Golden Opportunity giveaway contest.
That too.
Thank you to the people in the comments telling me to be careful. I do appreciate it. I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
I'll be safe, I'm sure.
And again, like we said at the start of the show, stay grounded for a little bit.
Don't hop on no plane, no helicopters,
Right.
no Cessnas.
Right.
Don't go on your Philly in general,
Right.
I'd say.
No Cessnas.
No Cessnas. All right, that's the end of the show. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on all our social, Speakers XIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server, and if you're watching on demand, links in the description. The post show will be coming up next if you're watching live, so make sure you catch that. If not, we'll see you next week. Like I said, same time, same place. Wait, no!
Not this time.
Not the post show.
There's no post show, but also there's something we have to do. We have minimum eye level tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Don't we normally do that on the post show now?
Do we?
Never mind.
We're not anymore. We're doing it now.
We're changing tradition.
We will be pulling the minimum eye level in the post show, which is coming up if you're watching live. We'll see you there, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.